Hey everyone, this is Ash again. Alright, back with the second of my weekly Shonen Jump reviews. So, we're finally back with One Piece, which is back from its break last week. So, we got chapter 913, The Crane Returns the Favor. And I hope what was is the last of the Orlumbus cover stories. I know someone on my Curious Cat asked me what my problem with the Orlumbus cover story was, and really, like, I just don't care for Orlumbus as a character. And I mean, like, yeah, it's got a few like heart tugging moments within the cover story, but I'm still not just a big fan of most of the Grand Fleet. Like, I don't really care about a lot of them. I mean, the cover story is nice, but I kind of want to move on to something new and different. So hopefully this is the last of the ones, because this one, like, out of all of them, this one's lasted the longest. And I don't know if Oda is like stretching it out for something, or he's waiting for something to happen. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. But we've got the Saga of the Self-Proclaimed Straw Hat Fleet, Volume 41, Orlumbus. 5 p.m. Given a hero send-off, my big pirate debut was a failure. You see all the citizens just waving and cheering as Orlumbus and his giant fleet just take off. Then we have, I would advise you not to sightsee here. Are you aware of who controls this country from the shadows? I assume that's Hawkins talking. And Zoro's got his blades out. He's like, nope, don't know. He's like, it's Kaido, and I'm here to whoop that Emperor of the Sea. Oh, Luffy. He's like, shut up, Lo. Well, it's supposed to be Luffy. Sorry, not Luffy, it's Luffy. I need to start mentally just correcting myself whenever I say that. We're not supposed to know that. It's like, I was just kidding. I don't know who. And then the Kawaii was like, grrr. Tom was like, huff, huff. Because the cards say your probability of being alive 1 month from now is 19%. And then, Hawkins is doing his little tarot card reading. Like, at least basically that's what I see it as, like the tarot card reading. So, worst generation, Basil Hawkins. Bounty 320 million berries. Since Zoro finally notices that Luffy's wielding a sword. Like, so wait, where'd you get that sword, huh? He's like, it's a verily good blade, right? Exactly. It seems like a famous one, so let me. And then you see, get him. He's like, yeah, bring it on. And Zoro's like, wait, no, let me see it. It's not like you even know how to use a. And then Luffy just throws the scabbard right at the attacking, Hawkins cronies. He's like, yes, I do. I'll slice and dice these fools, verily. And he goes, gum, gum, pistol. And he's just basically, slams his fist into one of the cronies' faces, and Zoro's like screaming at him, a gun's not a sword. And then the weird lizard dragon, whatever thing that one of them's riding, was like, sss, and it tries to take a chomp out of him. And he's like, whoa, even the lizard is trying to get me. And he's just like, the lizard's like, hiss, and then Luffy just grabs his head. He's like, well, chomp on this. And he takes it, like, kind of like slams it around and flips it. And then Hawkins grabs his sword. And, it's turning into straw. It's got, like, it looks almost like a bowling pin head, like a reverse bowling pin with, like, a little X mark and a little thing and a little hat on the hilt. It's a very odd looking sword. And he goes, straw sword, and he stabs it through the weird lizard dinosaur, whatever the hell it is. He's like, yow! He's like, funk, and the straw just comes out the other side. And it's just like, schlurk. He's like, what's up with that sword? Now I feel sorry for that lizard. And then you see Zoro just, beating off the other crony. He's like, ha! Yeah, and then he sends the sword slash flying towards Hawkins and, cuts him right across the face. And Luffy's like, whoa, got him already. He's like, he's like, dish. He's like, aye. And you see a random samurai standing behind him, that gets the cut instead, and he falls backwards with a thud. And then Zoro and Luffy are just like, huh? And Hawkins is like, very impressive. It's like, what the? He's like, -1 life. And then you see, one of the straw voodoo dolls. We saw all the way back in Sabaody Archipelago crawling out of his arm with, the same kind of slash cut. And it falls to the ground. He's like, what did you just do? And he's just like, my straw man is a stand-in for my followers' lives. And you see, this little straw demon starting to form up outside of the sword. He's like, with my straw powers, I infuse my body with my subordinate spirits so that no damage reaches me. When I have 10 infused, I can die 10 times. Now let us begin a game of straw man cards. Know that I am not so forthright as to battle 2 of my fellow worst generation members in a fair fight. It's like, whoa, something just came out of the sword. And I don't know how many of you are Naruto fans, but Naruto, or not Naruto, like, there's a couple of series where they do this, where they have the kind of witchy looking figure, and Hawkins has, the same kind of thing coming out, the flowing hair, and dressed in the robes, and he's got the fingers with the nails that he transformed into on Sabaody, and he's got the little fangs coming out of the mouth. It's a really, really cool design. But I was gonna say, Naruto fans, Sasuke's Amaterasu, I think it was, Amaterasu, whatever it was, the power where he has, he summons the guardian spirit with his eye. It looks the same. And then, you got Zoro being like, this guy's more trouble than he looks, but I should have figured, and he just licks his sword. He's like, well, game. He's like, let us begin. He's like, the fool reversed. Blast it. This is the card of infighting. And then he's like, take that. It's like, and you see 2 of his subordinates start fighting with each other. And then, some of his straw men seem to have fallen apart. And he goes, I'm sorry, I'll draw a good card next round. Despite the inherent risks, there are also cards that expand one's power beyond its natural limits. And Luffy's like, what the heck are they doing? The Koma runs up going, woof, woof. And then grabs, Luffy and Zoro in its mouth and goes, boof, boof. He's like, hey, what's the big idea, dog? And then they're like, Hawkins, they're getting away. And Hawkins looks like he has a ninja on his crew side. And he goes, they're getting Hawkins, they're getting away. He goes, do not panic. I've just drawn a good card. He's like, Tama's burning up. He's like, I guess that's why the dog was rushing us. And he goes, the Hierophant reversed, the card of pursuit. And he's like, whoa, he's catching up, and the straw man's, coming after him, and he's got a club of nails in one hand. He's like, protect the kid, I'll handle him. And Zoro's like, and then the straw man's going swish, swish, floating through the air. He's like, yoke, 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 yoke. And then Hawkins does the whole, okay, this another reference I'm going to make, but also fans of Bleach, the captain, one of the captains had a Bankai that was the same kind of thing where, he summoned basically a giant monster that he could control, that mimicked his movements. The Hawkins is doing the same thing. He's about to swing his sword, and then the straw man, swings its little spiked thing. And then Zoro blocks it, and he's like, oof, where's this power coming from? And he's trying to block it, and then it shoots nails out of its mouth. He's going bish, 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 and deflecting all of them. And Luffy's like, Zolo. It's like, alright, enough of this. Nigiri, and then he's about to, looks like he's actually gotten hit by a few of the nails. Tower climb, and he does, diagonal slash, ripple, and it cuts the straw man in half. And then Hawkins just goes again, gets the attack on himself, and one of his subordinates gets cut. And he's like, shall we go after them, Hawkins? He's like, the Hierophant, I've drawn a card of reinforcements. Someone will lead them to a clean escape. I was like, why? What mighty samurai you two are. Wait, who are you? Who are you? I was like, boink, you defeated that dreadful Hawkins. I'm the woman you saved earlier, Green One. My name is Suru. So it's tea house owner Osuru. And like this, I'm pretty sure this is from a famous painting that Oda's making a reference to. And like her facial design is completely different from, Oda's typical female designs. I'm digging it. Like it's it's very Japanese inspired, and I love it. And it's completely different from like anything he's drawn before. And this is like, I'm excited because I love this, but at the same time, it's like, if Oda can do this now, right? The excuses he's had before for not drawing diverse women, like female characters, has just really been bullshit. But I saw this on Twitter earlier as well. Like I was spoiled on a little bit of the stuff that happens later on in this chapter, and this was one of them. But Osuru, like the first thing that came to mind was Suru the Vice Admiral from the Marines. Wasn't she also called Osuru? Like I'm not saying that there is a Wano connection with this just because they have the same name, but it seems kind of odd that Oda would choose the exact same name for another character he's introduced. But I guess we'll find out if there's anything to that at a later date. And Luffy's like, you've been hiding in the tail this whole time? He's like, if you forgive me my asking, is that child Otama from Amigasa village? He's like, you know her? He's like, so she has been drinking from the river. In that case, forget the doctor. Take her to my tea house. And then Zoro's getting all mad. He's like, this is no time for sipping tea, lady. I don't even know who this kid is, but she's... He's like, dut, dut, dut. But of course, but it is. The best course of action is to give her tea mixed with a special herb. It'll counteract the river's poison. I will show you the way. And, she's got cranes on her kimono, so could she potentially be part of the Kozuki clan? I think Jill from the One Piece podcast earlier, I saw her tweet. I think she was mentioning that potential connection, so that would be interesting. Guess we'll have to wait and see, if she's an ally or an enemy. It's like, so please allow me to return the favor. I can tend to the green gentleman's wounds too. And Zoro looks like he's been cut up pretty bad. He's pulling the nails out of himself. He's like, okay, we'd appreciate the help, thanks. And then we have Okobore, the town of leftover scraps in Kuri. It's like, I'm just saying, you can't pay the protection tax, right? So I'm willing to help you out with that. He's like, come on, Okiku. All you have to do is be my wife and you'll never have to work again. You can eat all the fresh, clean food from the farm you want every day. And then back to, oh Lord. Back to, Oda's pretty female designs again. And then we have, I am far too below your social standing. Now, if you're not ordering, would you please take your leave? I don't want none of your food. Who wants dumplings and tea made from leftover scraps? Don't you know who I am? I'm a famous Yokozuna in the big city. And you have tea house waitress Okiku. And he goes, I'm Urashima, the greatest sumo wrestler in Wano. And again, I saw the podcast making a joke about this. That this is human Jinbei. And they're right. Like, if Jinbei was a human, this is exactly what he'd look like. And oh man, like that's too funny. And then you see the Koma Inu running up, going, Okiku. He's like, oh, Osuru. He's like, just damn it, brew up some of the evil purging herbs. Otama drank from the poisoned river. He's like, oh no, I'll get right to it. And then atop a mountain, it's like, I'm right. It's the Straw Hats. Should we go get them before trouble starts? You're going to stick out if you do, Beppo. And you see Beppo wearing, a kimono with the Heart Pirates symbol all over it. He's got a little fuzzy top knot. And it looks like he's standing atop some kind of ruins on top of the mountain. And to be continued. Now, I'm pretty sure that it's officially going to be on break next week. So... for that, it's kind of a little bit disappointing, but overall, it's a pretty decent chapter. I kind of expected that we would get, that escape from Hawkins. I thought that Osuru would do something to help them, but I guess she was kind of just still a supporting character for now. Hawkins' powers continue to make, little sense. Like, it's obviously voodoo inspired. Oda calling it, the straw fruit seems kind of odd, and it does seem, supremely overpowered as of now. When he says, I have 10 infused, I can die 10 times, I'm wondering if there's a limit to how many of the little dolls he can hold inside of him. I know back in Sabaudi he mentioned that, I can only hold like a certain number of dolls. I'm pretty sure back then he said 10 dolls was also his limit back then, but I'm not sure if that's still his limit or if he's just, making an offhand comment about if I have 10 dolls, I can die 10 times. The whole, summoning his thing, like the sword thing is new where he's like, I don't know if that's an extension of his powers, like he's using the sword to channel his powers through it to create the little straw puppet. Again, it's kind of interesting because before we saw him transforming into it, but now, he seems to be controlling it independently of his own body. So I hope Oda kind of clarifies a little bit more what his powers are. So it seems like it's basically like voodoo and tarot and like fortune telling based. I think we got all that. It seems like, the drawback to him using his powers is that he can't predict what cards he's going to draw, and the cards could potentially backfire on him. So I'm interested to see how that'll play out in the future fights. Although this was an offhand thought I kind of had was, if either in the fight with Kaido or something, like if he imagined a scenario, where Kaido just like hit him once and like just decimated him and all 10 of his dolls, just came out instantly and he died. And he's like, oh, that's the future I witnessed. And that's why I decided to betray Kid. That would be supremely interesting because we know Apu and Kid betrayed him. I'm guessing Hawkins did his little, prediction thing once he figured out who landed in front of them at that time to determine his chances of winning before he decided to betray them. It looks like Kid probably went straight ahead and decided, I want to attack whoever this is. I like Osuru's design just for being radically different from anything we've gotten before. And of course, after that, Oda, of course, had to give us, the Robin Nami clone with Okiku. Not a big fan of her design or thing so far, but we'll see, I guess, what happens going forward. But yeah, that's about it. Quick note. I'll probably give my chapter rating before I go on with this. So I'd say probably 3.5 out of 5, or maybe even a 3 out of 5. Like, it was an average chapter. It was a good showcase of Hawkins' powers and, the extent to what he can do. And we're kind of moving things along. But that's about it. It wasn't as fun to read as last week's chapter, but so far Wano is doing a pretty good job of keeping me interested, so hopefully Oda keeps this up. And a quick note, so I will be, I think I've mentioned this before, that I'm going to be going on vacation for the next 3 weeks. So I'm going to be leaving this Friday. So update right now is I don't think I'm going to have internet while I'm there. So I'll probably have gone dark for the entire 3 weeks. So I'm not going to be, won't be able to read any of the manga as it comes out over here. I don't think I'm going to be missing too much because, One Piece is going on break again next week, I assume. It might be this week, might be the week after. But I'll probably do a catch-up stream when I get back, just do all the chapters at once. If there's anything super interesting that any of you see or, you really want my take on, you could either just, send me a question on the Curious Cat account. You'll find it in my bio on Twitter. Or, just at me on the platform. And when I get back from vacation, if there's anything there, I'll kind of try to answer it. But that's about it. Enjoyable chapter, but wasn't too special. And I think I'll end that there, and then expect my hero review a little bit soon after this one uploads. And I'll talk to you guys later.